Welcome to Game of Roses. I'm Chad Kultgen, and Jenn just went on the Viall Files. So I'm going to take a look. I got this DM'd to me a bunch saying I have to watch it. So I'm going to watch it now and see what she says. Now, this is recorded, I believe, yesterday. Yesterday being Wednesday, September 11th. So this is after Devin put out his 13-minute video, which we also covered here. Let's take a look.
Jen, welcome back to the Viall Files. How you doing? Thanks for coming into the studio.
Thanks for having me.
I couldn't show up, but
I know. I'm sad you guys are over there, but I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I love it here. The color scheme is great.
We're very happy to have you. Life's been a bit of a whirlwind for you.
Yeah, it's been a lot. There's been a lot going on, for sure.
You know, usually I ask my guests, like, how's their heart? And it's just like, whatever, kind of a throwaway, but I feel like it's really appropriate in this moment. Like, can you let the audience know? So we're recording this Wednesday, and I'm sure we'll get to the Devin of it all. But you've been traveling. You're on Dancing with the Stars. The finale was last week. You've been in Boston. Rallying the
troops.
Rallying the troops at the bars.
My Boston.
For those who don't know, there's a video that surfaced of Jenn Tran in a bar at Boston. She threw out the first pitch at a Boston Red Sox game. Then I guess she went to a bar after it, and there she has a whole mob of people in the bar chanting, "Fuck Devin." It's a fantastic video. If you haven't seen it, look it up.
You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. So, like, how is, Jen, your heart?
I truthfully don't know how my heart is yet. I haven't had a second to myself to really process everything. It's only been a week since the finale. There's been a lot going on. I've been kind of just focusing on myself, focusing on Dancing with the Stars, focusing on having fun and putting energy back into myself. But truthfully, there is a lot going on in the back of my mind, and I'm still trying to process it all, and I'm still trying to just heal from it. And I feel like every second I'm getting there. I'm getting a little bit better. There's something else that comes out, and I'm just like, that breaks it all over again. But I mean, healing is not a linear journey, and there's just gonna be a couple ups and downs. But I've been through heartbreak before, maybe not in the public eye, but I know that I will be okay at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say that I'm 110% okay. I'm not, and I think it's okay to also admit that.
Absolutely.
That's smart. So she's saying she's still affected by it. This story should continue. We should all still cover it and care about it. However, she is moving on to Dancing with the Stars. Watch me next Wednesday or whenever it premieres, blah, blah, blah. This is good. This is very good, kind of taking control of the narrative. She's making it completely about her. It was about Devin there for a second.
Yeah,
for sure. We love a mid-healing queen.
We do. Absolutely.
A mid-healing queen. Yeah, so it's been a lot. Yeah.
It seems like you're able, despite, and good for you, able to enjoy this moment because, I mean, you also, despite the heartbreak, have some really exciting things going on. I mean, we never like to see, anyone heartbroken, but in Bachelor world, it seems like Bachelor Nation has really rallied behind you and really supporting you and really, very Team Jen right now. So that must feel, not that they weren't before, but just that there's a clear energy out there right now of support for you. And that must feel good and exciting. And
he's saying that because I think he himself doesn't feel like he ever got the support from Bachelor Nation that he truly deserved.
I imagine you're seeing that out in public.
I see it everywhere, online, in public, and it has been really, really amazing to have such support from people that I don't even know. It's definitely not a feeling that I've known before, so it's been really, really nice. And yeah, I don't know. I think with things like that, though, I'm always so weary of the internet and everything. It's just they can be so behind you, and the next moment they're not, and things like that. So I try to just stay grounded as possible, and I'm grateful for the support now, and I'm just happy to be here, happy to have it, happy to be living.
Happy to be living. Hell yeah.
We're all happy to be living.
Do you want to, should we just get into the Devin of it all then?
I mean, isn't that everybody's questions these days?
All right, so elephant in the room. Yesterday, Devin posted, well, I don't understand why. I didn't know you could post more than 10-minute videos on Instagram, so...
Dude, me too. Me and Viall share this misunderstanding of the current technological functionality of Instagram.
I think he maybe did us all a favor learning the long form. But all jokes aside, for whatever reason, this seemed to be the way he decided to share his truth, as he says. Have you seen the video?
I have not seen the video, and I don't plan on it.
That's interesting. So she's not going to watch it. Probably a smart move, I would say. Just in terms of wasting 13 minutes of your life, a smart move. But also probably a smart move because I would assume it would just make her very mad and hurt and upset to see the literal actuality of what that video was and the text messages he leaked.
Okay. We love that. We
Yeah.
love that for
I
you.
mean, it's just, I know what happens. I don't need to watch a 13-minute video on it, and he's wasted already 6 months of my life. I'm not going to give him another second, let alone 13 minutes.
Good
I'm
for
all
you.
set.
Period.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
That being said, he obviously feels a certain way. I mean, I guess when was the last time you talked to Devin? And is there a chance that maybe you guys could mend the fences? Because for whatever reason, he seems upset or he feels like his POV, isn't understood. Do you in any way feel like there's things out there that he would like to be out there? Or, why do you feel like he's chosen to go about it this way? Given that he was a guy that you were engaged to for a while.
I have no idea why somebody would do this, let alone somebody that I was engaged to would.
I believe the reason that he did it was because he was under a tidal wave of negative DMs from us, the fourth audience, basically. Not me specifically, not you specifically, us in the general term, the audience of The Bachelor, Bachelor Nation. And I think he felt like he had to clear the air to at least stem this, to in some way lessen the brunt of what he was getting in terms of a parasocial response to this, which has to be completely negative. I think that's why he did it. And then he obviously deleted it. That video is no longer online.
Release private texts between us two. When you get engaged to somebody, when you're dating somebody, your first thought is never, oh my gosh, these texts might actually be blasted for the whole world to see. Like, that is.
Ask Nick Viall. This is why he only makes phone calls. He will never leave receipts, never leave a paper trail. I agree with everything she's saying here, though. There's kind of an unspoken agreement, especially when you're in reality TV, that you're not going to put out the receipts. And to break that agreement, the other person, and be justified in doing it, the other person or parties has to do something so egregious that the fourth audience of whatever the show may be, in this case Bachelor, finds it admissible, that like it's okay to have done that. Blake Horstman got in trouble when he did it, but it also helped him because people were kind of like, well, okay, this does tell his side of the story. And it was only a few text messages. It wasn't a 13-minute video where you're just scrolling through the entire feed. I agree with what she's saying. I think what Devin did was, it was beyond that unspoken agreement, for sure.
Such an invasion of privacy. So when I heard about this, I had so many friends and family texting me, calling me about this. I truthfully felt so betrayed, so just disrespected, and honestly just upset and disappointed. Like, I don't have a problem with him going out there and saying what he needs to say, but I have a problem with him invading my privacy and releasing text without telling me, without just giving me notice. And also just like some of the things, he conveniently blurred out certain things but forgot to blur out other things that were very, very private. It's like, my mom's on the internet, dude. Like, what's up with that?
Exactly. That's part of the unspoken agreement when you go on reality TV, is that whatever happens with the cameras on, whatever happens in the context of that reality game you're playing, kind of stays there. And the interesting thing about all these dating reality shows, and I mean, Traders does this too. All reality shows do this to some degree, but the dating shows do it a lot more. It's the blurring of the line between what is the show and what is our real lives. And as you come off the show and go into the parasocial element of this kind of part of the experience, you're playing a slightly different game with different rules. And it seems like Devin is not. He's just like, whatever, it's all a reality show. I'm going to throw all of our text messages up there. And just the sheer volume of them almost certainly meant that he wasn't going to be able to redact everything he needed to redact.
It's just, it was disrespectful, and I don't appreciate it at all. In regards to what he has to say, like, he's allowed to have a side to the story. Like, he was a part of this relationship too. He has all the rights to say whatever he wants to say. And I'll say it, like, he had time at AFR to say it. And
I mean, that's it. That's the end of the interview. He was on that stage too, with live cameras rolling, could have said or done anything he wanted, and he just kind of chose to sit there and, scoff. Oh, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. That's not how I remember it, Jed. He didn't defend himself then, and so then he has a week to put together this video where he airs all of their text messages. it wasn't a good play, obviously, and everyone despises him for it. But I completely agree with what she's saying. Like, that still is in the game. When you have to come to after the final rose or men tell all, that's like your last part of play in the game. He had his opportunity and he blew it.
I don't know about you guys, but I didn't hear very much of anything.
Yes,
so he had
exactly.
time to share his piece. If he thinks that he wants to share more, he's more than welcome to do that. What I don't condone is invading my privacy and going out there and doing that. So
That seems fair.
That does seem very fair.
Yeah. So you're really just more,
Thank you for the arbitration of fairness.
obviously, the way he's gone about it, the message is,
It just seems like you've had so much time now to think of your story and your plan, but it's like at AFR, you were quite quiet.
Exactly correct, Natalie Joy.
yeah, exactly.
do you know why Devin, or can you guess? There was that hot mic moment where Devin was like, what's going on here? He seemed confused. I will say, having been a part of AFR, it is live. It's very short. It's very pressure packed. If things don't go always the way people imagine, so that can happen. Like,
This is a very common thing Nick Viall does here at Game of Roses. We call what he just did when I was the Bachelor. He will constantly bring up his own experiences throughout The Bachelor and use it as a grounds to stand on to convey his expertise about any given situation. And granted, he has more playtime than anybody in the history of the game. 2 second place finishes in Bachelorette season 10 and 11. 11, he crashed that season, obviously Caitlin Bristow's season, in episode 4, I believe it was, and went on to come in second place to then ring winner Sean Booth, and got so under Sean Booth's skin that Sean Booth refused to use his name that season. By the end of the season, he was calling Nick Viall the other guy. So he was a fantastic player in his day, but the game has changed. The executive producers have changed. The Mike Fleiss is no longer there. A lot has changed. So take his expertise on these matters, with a grain of salt, perhaps.
but from your standpoint, why do you think he said that?
I honestly have no idea why he said that. I have no idea why he thought it would. I don't know where he thought it was going to go. I have no idea his mindset that week because
I think he said that to try and convey to the audience that, whoa, what is she saying? This is going, I mean, we didn't agree to this, or why? She's just telling lies. Him at least conveying that he was confused there in front of the live audience, I think was an attempt by him to defend himself, kind of a preemptive invalidation of whatever attack she was launching at him there on that stage. That's why I personally think he did it. That's my analysis. We may never know the real answer, only he does.
he truthfully, we hadn't been talking that week. And the week before that, I got some very mean messages from him, and we just were not on good terms because I had asked to talk to him without the cameras and he had agreed, and then suddenly ghosted me and suddenly was not on the same page as me. And I wanted to have that conversation off camera. So he knew how anxious I was going to be going there. That's not okay to, for the first time, be seeing your ex-fiance.
There's a little piece of this that's being left out, and I don't know what the true answer to what I'm about to say is, but in these moments, they are not actually alone. They have producers that they can DM constantly for many months after the show until basically the new show kicks in, and even well after that. Some producers stay, in quotes, friends with players, for a long time, years and years. So it's possible that Devin said, look, I want to talk to her off camera, and the producers were like, no, we need to get you on camera, dude. I can see the producers having had some hand in at least the kind of crumbling of their relationship there toward the end, and not giving Devin the opportunity to talk to Jen off camera, or not giving Jen the opportunity. I can see them having played a part in that. I don't know what the truth is of that matter, but it feels suspiciously like they might have been involved in this in some way.
On a stage, and he denied me of that right to have a conversation with him before that. And so I don't know what he thought was going to happen. I was on a roller coaster of emotions, of course. I didn't know what to expect. Yeah, I don't know why he said what was going on here. What did he think was going to happen? Was I just going to shake his hand and say, okay, have a good day? Nice knowing you.
Nice being engaged.
That makes a lot of sense coming from you, adding that context, because regardless of whatever Devin's timeline is, even if he thought you two had some sort of understanding, right? Like you said, you hadn't spoke with at least a week or two. information's coming in. You have no idea what's going on. You didn't expect him to break up with you. As everyone in your shoes would, you start asking a million questions. How did this happen? How could this happen? Is there someone else? Yada, yada. You start getting messages or reports of another people, arms around people. Whether Devin did it before or after he broke up, what did he expect? It's just like, it clearly, if nothing else, he was incredibly sloppy and incredibly inconsiderate of how information could get back to you and how you might feel about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else he expected, but that, thanks for providing that context, because it makes a lot of sense. Because I wouldn't want anyone to think that like he's somehow suggesting that you guys were on some same page. And even if you had talked a couple weeks before, like, so what? Like, clearly when someone breaks up with you, your information comes in, you don't know what to think, left or right, and like he decided to operate in a way that raised a ton of questions, regardless of what the timeline exactly is or not.
Here's the thing, like the information about this other girl in New York, what the pictures, whatever, that didn't even come out until after AFR.
The thing she's talking about there is some pictures were leaked of Devin sitting next to a woman looking mildly flirtatious. I haven't heard anything about his claim as to who that might have been or what that relationship was or is, but those photos were taken weeks after their breakup, I believe. I think that's right.
So it's like, I wanted to put it in the past at AFR. I'm like, this is it. I just want to be done. And then it's like every day something is popping up. The pictures with the girl, people DMing me, he's making out with this person on this date, and he's flying to the airport with this girl on this date, blah, 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 blah. Now he's releasing text messages. Like, I just, at this point, I want to be done, and I want to put this in the past. And I'm like, this is the last time I'm talking about this, because this is not what I want. I don't need this breakup to be drawn out for 6 months. I'm done with it, and I'm ready to move on. And at this point in my life, like, the way that he has been behaving and releasing our texts and whatever else that he's doing shows to me that this is not the kind of person that I would ever want to spend the rest of my life with anyways. And so I'm ready to move forward with that and know that I'm at the right place in my life right now. And everything truly happened for a reason. Like, it was a blessing in disguise what had happened. And I'm grateful for it, despite all of this mess.
It's a nice sentiment to say that she wants to move on and never talk about this again and put it in the past. I get it. Like, obviously, she's got bigger and better things going on. She's about to be on Dancing with the Stars. We're going to see where her Instagram number ends up ultimately, but hopefully she can get enough juice out of that to become an influencer. Unfortunately, she agreed to be the Bachelorette and date all these guys on a TV show with an audience that is highly engaged and wants to know these details. So this breakup, also because it was done in such a heinous fashion, and because he's now postseason releasing these all this stuff, because of how wild it's been, I don't think Bachelor Nation is going to forget this breakup for a very long time. It's going to go down in history as one of the worst ever. It will be up there with Ari Lyondike and Becca Kufrin. It will be up there with Jake Pavelka and Vienna Girardi. It's going to be up there. So I totally agree with what she's saying. She wants to move on, put it in her past. This is the last time she's going to talk about it, but it's definitely not the last time we are going to be talking about it in the fandom of Bachelor. So that's kind of the trade-off. If things go bad in Bachelor and you want to just kind of bury them and move on, you really can't, because you agreed to be on that reality show and get from that experience all of the benefit that you got. In her case, going on Dancing with the Stars. That's kind of the next big benefit, and we'll see where it winds up. She may wind up on some other reality shows as well. But you can't have those things, the beneficial things, without also having an audience be highly interested in everything that's happening in your life from that point forward, basically.
Well, PSA then to anyone listening, do not DM Jenn or message Jenn or go on her page or give her the 411 and anything D related. She's not interested. She's moving on.
I agree with what Viall's saying here. And also, don't send anyone negative messages. We say that all the time on the show, but I think it just always bears repeating, because I know all these players. And you know, think what you will about Devin. I don't think he handled any of this correctly or well, and he's kind of reaping the whirlwind now. But that said, he's still just a person who went on a reality show. He had whatever motivations he had. There is no need to send him nasty stuff. There just isn't.
With Jonathan. What?
Yes. What's going on there?
No, she stated they're just friends. Cats out of the bag.
He was here the other day. Oh, he was.
Wait, are you in love? No? Yeah?
Am I in love? No.
She's taking a page out of Hannah Brown's book here. Her and Tyler Cameron, I don't know if you remember when the pandemic started back in whatever it was, March of 2020. The first thing Hannah Brown did was get on a flight to Florida. Tyler Cameron picked her up from the airport, and they went back to that house where they were the quarantine crew, and it was Tyler Cameron, it was Hannah Brown, it was Tyler's little brother, Matt James was in it, Brown Bear Visuals, who's the guy who did all the media for them, and they all just kind of holed up and made content and stoked that rumor that they may be dating. I think Jen is doing the exact same thing here with Jonathan now.
No, I'm just kidding.
I love Jonathan. Am I in love with Jonathan? No.
Well, he said he would be sitting front row Dancing with the Stars if you do invite him.
Yeah, are you gonna invite him?
We've had some chats about it. He will be coming.
Okay.
Yes, as a very good friend of mine.
But they know what they're doing. It's like, as a very good friend of mine, but they're going to flirt and all of that because the lie of them potentially getting together is something that we want to see. So they're going to nudge that direction, even though it will never be true. I'm telling you, this is Hannah Brown and Tyler Cameron all over again.
No, I mean, Jonathan is so great and so amazing and such a good person. And like, here's the thing, I didn't get a fiance out of this, but I'm so happy that I got a really good friend out of this and a good human being. Like, he is just so good. And unfortunately right now I'm just not at the place in my heart and in my life to be dating somebody, to even be thinking about possibly investing myself into anybody, let alone Jonathan. But I'm happy to have him as a friend for now, and like, we'll see where that goes. I mean, yeah, I don't know. For now, I just enjoy his company, and I think we're on the same page with that. Yeah.
No, I respect it. I always hated as like a former lead people telling me who they think we should date. That being said, like, Jonathan took
That's a When I Was the Bachelor.
our breath away. He was hot. Like, Sierra,
7-year relationship, but I was like, oh my God, this guy,
Really?
amazing.
yeah.
So charismatic. I said I need to calm down.
You know what?
Relax.
Oh.
Not your type. That's fine. You know?
I mean,
What,
I
what
She's
are we
got
looking
2 months
for?
here.
yeah.
You don't know what could happen.
I mean, I never said he's not my type. Like, he's
Well,
See? So she's like, he's just a friend. Nothing's there. But I never said he's not my type. She's trying to walk that line, ride that fence a little bit to get maximum value out of this. It's a smart play. And I think it's honestly, it's the thing of anything that she can kind of take from her season and drag it out into the parasocial realm. That, you know, the relationship with Jonathan, whatever it may be, friends or flirtations or whatever, that is the thing that I think she's going to get the most mileage out of.
looking guy.
I mean, if he was,
we made out
I
a
don't
couple
know.
times.
You
like,
know?
Yeah. Listen, plenty of people have gone back. No, I'm not even.
Yeah, do you?
Been there, done that.
Gosh, no, he's great. We'll see. I mean, I
We'll
don't
see.
know.
Do you really think Sam M and Thomas were right about Devin, or was it just dumb luck?
The $1 billion question. No, they were absolutely right. I'll give that to them. But like,
Okay.
but they were also, you know, not the best in their own way too. But
Maybe they saw something in themselves.
So she basically is just shitting on the entire cast, other than Jonathan here. And I don't think she's wrong. Like, for me, this is just what I saw when I saw this cast. It looked like somebody or a cast that they put together for somebody like Maria because they wanted to see Maria just destroy all these dudes. I think that was the season they were hoping for, that Maria would just bite all their heads off and do it in a hilarious way. And then they had to bring Jen in when Maria didn't work out. That's what the casting felt like to me. I could be wrong, but that's how I saw it.
They're on like their high horse right now, being like, ha ha, we told y'all, we were right, ha ha. And it's like, well, you also still suck. So sorry.
I know. I mean, they're so excited, whatever. I'm like, great. I mean, Sam M sent me a DM actually the other day. So I said,
What?
What do you say?
Saying what?
What do you say?
He said, hey, I saw what happened. Nobody deserves that. And he was like, sometimes people, you know, you think you know them and you don't. And I mean,
He hit you with another movie line.
Well, it sounds like a very nice message.
It was a very nice message. I will give him that. And you know what? I'm happy that he has grown and learned from this and like can put our differences aside and still wish me support. And that makes me feel good that somebody can have that part of their heart and still open. And yeah, so no, it was good.
Sam M is loving that she brought this up on Viall Files, basically exonerating him here. Don't worry, Sam M's, he's a good guy. I know on the show he looked like a horrible piece of shit, but he's actually a good guy. He sent me one nice DM in the fallout after the nuclear explosion that was Bachelorette Season 21 finale.
I appreciated it.
Have you heard from any of the other guys on your season post?
My
AFR?
favorite part is how much they've been supporting me,
Really?
truthfully.
Huh.
Jonathan with his big Instagram post truthfully brought tears to my eyes. I just, you go through such an incredible journey and you want to know that it meant something, that you impacted people. And for me, it was always about those conversations with each of these men is like, how are we connecting as people and how can we have an impact on each other,
Right.
even if we don't end up together? So to just know that he supports me, to know that Spencer supports me, Sam and support, like all these people just coming out and DMing me really does mean a lot, because they've been an important part of my journey and I respect them so much and want to celebrate them too. So it was nice.
Oh, I
that
love to hear
they
that.
supported me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, guys, like everybody's like, oh, the casting. I'm like, no, like they were actually really sweet.
Good.
Well, listen, you
Yeah.
wouldn't be the first lead to just not have your person be casted on your season, you know?
Yeah, no,
That counts as when I was the Bachelor.
exactly. What are the chances anyways? So
But that isn't just him and her. That's 99% of the entirety of the Bachelor Nation franchise leads don't wind up with whoever their ring winner was that season. I mean, almost all of them. There's only a handful that have.
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, but that's why they keep bringing back Jason Mesnick, because most of us like it, they aren't casting for love, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they are, or maybe they're not good at it. I don't know.
They didn't cast. I mean, when you say they're not casting for love, the bottom line is this: everyone is different, and if you're trying to find a soulmate, a perfect match for whoever your lead is, you have to cast for that person, the things they like, the things that work well with them. They didn't do that for Jen, very clearly. They cast this season for Maria. But I also think in casting, producers follow this kind of formula where they want to put in maybe like 5 viable contenders that somebody that are kind of like serious about getting married, serious about having kids, and maybe fit well with whoever their lead is. The rest of the cast is really villains, fools, people who are just going to give you good entertainment, tattling on other players, getting in rivalries. They need that stuff to build out the middle of the season until you get to the playoffs. The hometowns, the fantasy suites, and the finals are pretty much reserved for those players that they think are like serious players. The rest of them, like I forget what season it was, they cast a guy named Lucas Yancey. I want to say this was on Becca Kufrin's season, but I could be wrong. It might have been JoJo. I don't exactly remember. But his whole thing was he had a catchphrase where he would just scream, "Waboom!" And he had a t-shirt that said it. And you're telling me they cast that guy as a serious contender in that season? Absolutely not. And they do that every season. They cast people knowing they have no shot of falling in love with the lead. They're just there to further either a fool edit or a villain edit or whatever the narrative may be. So when he says they're bad at casting, it's like I think their casting methodology is bad and has been for a very long time. They should be casting 30 viable contenders every time. Then what we get is something like the end of Joey Graziadei's season, where they're all viable, and we're watching him have to make this impossible choice between 3 or 4 people who would be fantastic for him. That is more dramatic than seeing 2 crappy choices and it ends in disaster, in my opinion.
I don't know.
Or maybe just love in general is hard to find. Maybe that's it. That's why we are so lucky.
Oh, that's a hot take. Yeah.
How are you? What about the ladies from your season? How have they been supporting you? Have you heard from any of the women?
Yeah, I mean, everybody in Bachelor Nation has been supportive, but also, the women on
Everybody?
my season. Yeah, pretty much everybody has been messaging me either on Instagram or texting me, calling me. So yeah, absolutely. Everyone's been really, really supportive, and I couldn't be more grateful. And I'm happy I'm in LA now because now I get to hang out with some of them. So yeah.
Is there anybody that you're super close to?
Kelsey and I have been getting drinks recently. I'm excited to hang out with Daisy more. We've had like a few phone calls just like catching up, which makes me really excited.
Those are 2 smart ones. Those are 2 of the biggest Instagram followings from that season.
Who else? Star, she lives in Florida. We've always been the best of friends. Taylor, just a lot of them. A lot of them have been so sweet. Yeah.
Feel to answer however you want to. I'm gonna ask the question. Maria obviously posted about everything, and I was like, and she commented on the fact that that she supports you, but you're not friends. Did something happen there, or was this throughout your season, or was this post your season? Like what caused the falling out, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do want to say that when I mentioned her name on stage, I never meant to insinuate that there was anything going on between her and Devin. Like when I mentioned that, it was purely about Devin and nothing else. And yeah, I mean, I still support her from afar, regardless of whatever events have transpired since then. And that's between me and her. But at the end of the day, people just grow apart and that's that. But I still support her and she still supports me. And I'm happy to know that we can do that. And if we see each other at an event, like I'm going to hug her. We're going to be great. We're going to pick up right where we left off. Yeah.
No, you
That seems like they're not quite friends admission, in my opinion.
carry yourself so well, truly. Like as a bachelorette and everything, I'm just like, I feel like post show, you're just like handling everything with such grace.
Thanks.
Of course.
I never realized how resilient I can be until all these punches are being thrown at
There
me.
you go.
And I'm like, okay, it's fine. We're going to get through this. We're going to cry it out and then we're going to dance it out.
Any Taylor Swift
I
songs for
hope
Dancing with
so.
Stars?
It's in the works. It's in the works. I absolutely have to. If I get sent home before I get to dance with Taylor Swift, I will be severely upset. That will be worse than my breakup for sure.
Oh no.
When does when's night 1 drop?
Next week, September
Next week. Okay.
17th. Tune in.
And we're voting via text.
Wait, so September 17th is Dancing with the Stars, then the 18th is Golden Bachelorette, which we will be covering here on Game of Roses.
Social media. What's
You
the
can
easiest way to
vote
vote?
on text. You can call 5. I think you can call 5 times. You can text 5 times. You can email 5 times. So I think those are the ways that you can vote is what I'm hearing. My mom's also been asking. So I'm like, I don't know.
Hell yeah.
But
We gotta let people know.
yeah, I'm super stoked. The song that I'm dancing to, I can't say, but I have to say, very iconic for the moment that I'm in. And I will be surprised if I don't cry tears at the end of this dance because it's going to be so meaningful.
Can you give us a hint? Like a 1-word hint?
Can I give you a hint?
Is it more empowering than revengey?
It's so empowering. Yeah, definitely way more
Okay.
empowering. No, it's not revengey, please.
I don't have the energy for that.
Revenge is the abs I'm gonna get from all the planks that
Well,
I'll
like
be doing.
Ariana came out with kind of
Yes.
her revenge dress night 1. It was more, maybe revengey is the wrong word.
Didn't she wear the dress
She
that
looked
she
great.
wore? It was like
A
a
version of it.
A
Yeah.
version,
version
yeah.
of what she wore on finale.
Should I wear my engagement dress?
A reunion. Imagine.
How epic. No, that won't be happening. That would be very funny, though.
All right, Jen. Well, thank you for coming back. We really appreciate you shedding some light on
Yeah.
everything, all the crazy going on in your life. We wish you the absolute best luck this season on Dancing with the Stars. And everyone, vote for Jen.
Thanks for
We will
having
be.
me, guys. Yeah.
Max
All
Struess
right.
is single, by the way. Publicly.
I love that.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to check out yesterday's episode of Going Deeper with all the secret lives of Mormon wives. Plus, we
All right, thanks for watching me rewatch this. Some interesting things were learned here. She wants to turn the page from Devin. Doesn't seem friendly with Maria exactly, but they're amicable. But that was about it. There wasn't a lot here, but it's always interesting to see how this is kind of winding up. It does seem like Jen is getting the last word in the Jen and Devin saga. But thanks for joining me. We will be back with more coverage of everything happening in Bachelor Nation as it happens.